issues. Greetings, discreet defenders. Well, let's unbox this beauty and see what it is I bought with tritium night sights. Smith & Wesson Shield Plus. But Dave, you're asking, you already have a double stack Pocket 9. What's wrong with the GX4? Well, this isn't exactly a 9mm. That's the Shield Plus in 30 Super Carry. I bought this because I love 327 Federal Magnum. It's probably my favorite revolver round. So I thought I ought to have something in 30 Super Carry. They're produced, or they were developed by the same company, Federal. And I once owned the original Shield in 9mm, and the grip was too skinny, so I thought, ooh, the Shield Plus looks nice. But I had no reason to get one until they came out with a new caliber. Now, Federal bills the round as somewhat between the power of a 380 and the power of a 9mm, which I find a bit ironic since, at least so far, it only comes in a 9mm platform. Smith & Wesson converted several of their 9mm into 30 Super Carry with a little bit of extra capacity. How much more capacity? Well, 13 rounds instead of 11. That works, I guess, depending on the performance. I like them night sights. They seem pretty good. But Dave, you're probably asking by now, 2 minutes into the video, are we ever going to shoot it? Well, yeah, let's do that. Now, I'm going to be shooting from 10 yards, but I'm not going to use the 13 round capacity flush fit magazine. And that's because this beauty comes with a slightly longer 16 shot capacity magazine. I mean, just barely gives me a pinky rest. And since I bought the gun for capacity, theoretically, let's shoot the 16 round magazine. All right. 10 yards, 16 rounds. Theoretically, I could do 16 plus 1, but just gonna do 16 for now. And let's see how I can do here. Not bad for standing. No rest. Let's go look. I don't know. I got a couple off the paper, but there's a pretty good group around that bullseye. Definitely a fun gun. It definitely feels a lot more like a 9mm than like a 380. All right. So far, I'm pretty happy with the Shield Plus in 30 Super Carry. It has a couple of things I love. One is the trigger. I cannot complain about the trigger. It's absolutely light, crisp break, almost surprises me every time. Not something that I have to consciously, pull, but just breaks exactly like a trigger is supposed to. The other thing is those nice sights. Those sights are pretty good. As night sights, the tritium inserts are a little skinny, but you've seen that demoed already if you watched the short. Obviously, I like the extended magazine. After all, it's supposed to be a higher capacity firearm than a 9mm. So why not have look at the base. Look at the base on this. Okay, that's the difference between 13 rounds and 16 rounds. If there is a 1/4 of an inch in there, I don't see it. I mean, that's all there is. That's the whole difference. So why not just carry it with the 16-round magazine? If, you know, you're going for extra rounds anyway. If you think about it, that's more rounds than a Glock 19. That's pretty intense. All right. So there is my new Smith & Wesson Shield Plus in 30 Super Carry. Probably the worst part about this gun so far, these magazines are not easy to load. If I was a female shooter or an office worker like I used to be, or when I had carpal tunnel syndrome, you know, I got those old scars, there's no way I could load these to capacity. The rounds are just, you cannot get enough of a purchase on them. It's much easier to load any 9mm or 40 that I've ever loaded. Even the Springfield XD, which has really strong springs. I was able to do it this morning with the 13er, and you just saw 16 rounds from the 16-shot magazine. But boy, for a round that's supposed to be between a 380 and a 9mm, this is almost tougher to shoot, not because of the recoil, but because of how difficult it is to load the magazines. And that, I think, that's my number one disappointment with the Shield 30 so far. But next week we'll do some comparison tests and see how the round itself stacks up against some against 9mm, and we'll probably actually test it against 380 as well. Although I don't have a 380 with a 3-inch barrel, so it won't be completely fair. That's my unboxing of my new Shield Plus in 30 Super Carry by Smith & Wesson. And of course the round is by Federal. Oh, and the test round today was some Remington UMC. I guess Federal owns Remington now, so they can make whatever rounds they want. All right. Thanks, folks. This is Dave for DDR. Have a great week. All 12. No issues.